Hi everybody, welcome. It's Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, so it's time for Stamping with Denise. I'm so glad you joined me. Let me pull this up here and so I can see it. Let's see. I'm not very good at, let's see. Okay, it should be popping up here in just a second. I hope everybody, there we go, I just got it. There we go, I found it. It showed up in my notifications. Open up so I can see in case there's any comments. Here we go. Okay. So I hope everybody had a great weekend. It was beautiful here in Michigan this weekend. At least Saturday. Sunday was a little bit cloudy and rainy, but I got my flowers put in. So that I'm glad about. So I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. I got some people joining us, so that's good. Before I get started, a little bit of housekeeping things. Please, if you like what you see, share my video to your friends on Facebook and comment shared in. If you'll write shared in the comments, then I'll enter you in with a chance to win the card I make tonight. If you're watching me on YouTube, please give me a thumbs up or make a comment that you liked it. I do appreciate that, and I like that feedback too. So if you recall, last week we made this really cute kite card. I couldn't think of the name of it. See, it opens up like that. Now, I just put it on a single sheet of cardstock, but you could put it on, you know, a piece of cardstock that's, you know, on the front of a regular card, you know, to open up if you wanted to. But I just did it on a single piece. So the winner from last week's live is Kay Phipps. So Kay, I'm going to need your address so I can get this card sent out to you. Okay, and I want to thank everybody who shares my video and who tunes in and things like that. So if you're here, give me a comment so I know you're here. I appreciate it. Now, I totally forgot when I planned what I was going to share with you tonight, that we used the same suite of paper, or the same designer series paper and the same stamp set next week or last week. But you know what? That's okay. It is what it is. I think the card's really cute, and I think you're going to like it. So I wanted to share it with you. And, you know, the design you could do with something else, you know, with another stamp set and dies. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. So I am going to switch over to my hand view here. There we go. And we are going to make this cute little happy birthday card for the guy in your life. I just think it's so cute, and I love all these bow ties. Oh, I didn't bring the die set over with me. But remember last week I added this little bow tie here, but it's different than the ones on the card for this week. This one's smaller. These are a little bit bigger. You can see it here too in the stamp set, the Handsomely Suited stamp set. You can stamp this and then cut them out if you wanted to, but you can see that this one's smaller than that one. But to do this, make this great card, we've got to pull in the Stamparatus. You're like, what? What's a Stamparatus? It is a must-have tool for either it's great for if you're mass producing a card, or if you're have something where you're doing some repetitive stamping and you need things to be spaced evenly like this. It works beautifully, and there's a lot of flexibility with this. I'll show you This one, we're going to stamp the happy birthday with this one. You know what? I can move it around to stamp in different places. I can stamp from the top down. I can stamp from the side over. I can reposition it by going in and out at different hinge areas. So there really is not a lot you can't do with it. Sometimes when you're setting up a card, you just have to do trial and error, which is exactly what I did. And the nice thing too is that these are double-sided. We're using two different stamps. We're going to use the happy birthday stamp and we're going to use the bow tie stamp on the card, okay? I could have put these both on the same plate, but I didn't want to do that. So like, let's say this is one plate together. You know, I could put this in here and I could stamp it. I could take it out. I could turn it around. I could stamp here. So there's really so much you can do with this. So I'm going to show you how to get started. And first of all, let me show you the pieces we have. Okay, this Night in Navy paper, this one I'm folding this way today, simply because when I open up my folder of Night in Navy, this was already cut. So I thought, well, I don't do many cards that open up like this. But I thought we'd do it today. So this Night in Navy is 11.5 inches by 4.25. So again, it's half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. It's just cut differently. Hello, Paula. Thank you for joining. So then the next piece of paper is Pacific Point, and this is 5.25 by 4. And you know, I'm always happy when I get to use Pacific Point. I don't use a whole lot of it. I like the color, but it just doesn't come up very often, you know? So what can I say? What can I say? And then hold on, let me get my glue over here too. Then the white piece of cardstock, this is 5 by 3 3/4. And you know, when you're trying to decide on your placement, you really just have to play around. So the goal is to move the paper or to move this plate, but you defeat the purpose if you have to move the stamp, okay? So the goal is so that you don't have to move the stamp around. Okay, so here's what I found out. Here's what I ended up doing. I've got 2 spots here, number 1 and number 2. So when my card is lined up with the number 1 spot, I'm stamping the things in this column. When it's in the 2nd spot, I'm stamping those things. And you know, it's just trial and error to get, you know, give it a try and see what's gonna work. So anyway, so for people that want to know, my first little dot where I'm going to line the top corner of my paper is 2 inches by 1.5 inches. It's on that spot right there. And the number 2 spot is 2 inches over and 1 inch down. So, okay, so I'm going to start out. I'm going to line this piece of paper up with the number 1 dot, okay? And I just know from experience I've got to be a little bit lower than that line, and that looks good. And I'm going to try it, and it's going to fit perfectly on my piece of paper down in that bottom corner, okay? And the other nice thing that this is really good for is if you're using a stamp that maybe you're having trouble getting a good stamped image, if you don't move your paper, you can re-stamp it. It's wonderful. I'll show you. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up with Pacific Point. I like using the Stampin' Spots better because it's easier to avoid making a mess with them, but you can do it with the large ones too. So I've inked up my stamp. You can see right there, it's got the Pacific Point ink, and I just simply lay it down. And I'm not pushing hard. I'm just giving it a little bit of pressure. And you know, I like to let my stamp set for just a second for that ink to soak into that paper. Okay, let's see. There we go. Bingo. Really, that is all I need with this. So I'm going to set this off to the side so I don't get ink all over, and I'm going to close this ink pad too. Before we wrap up, I will show you how you can, if I remember, how we can restamp something that maybe we didn't get a good stamp on. So now I've got the bow tie in place. So you can see we're going to stamp one right there. Then I'm going to step it down 2 steps. 1, 2, and put it, and we're going to stamp it there. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. And that is going to be with basic gray. And I am using one of my little Stampin' Spots because it's so easy to do and avoid getting ink on my plates. So you can buy Stampin' Spots that are empty, and you can ink them for whatever color you want. You can get colored Stampin' Spots in your paper pumpkins, which is where most of mine came from. Some of the kits have little Stampin' Spots on them. Or there are, I think there's a set of, or there was in the last catalog, and I think this carried over, a set of 10 Stampin' Spots in a variety of colors that you can order. So there's a whole lot of ways to get, you know, this color Stampin' Spot you need. So okay, I've got those. Now we're going to move on to spot number 2, because those don't need to be re-inked. But you know, I'm going to show you, watch this. I'm going to put this right back down, and you're going to see it's right in the same place. And look at that. It stamped it right in the same spot. It's not smeary. The key is, don't move your paper. If you move your paper, you're out of luck. The Stamparatus comes with 2 really powerful magnets, and I resisted for a long time putting tape on them. But this just makes it so much easier to grab them. So this is a little bit of, what do you call it, duct tape, decorative duct tape that was on sale, I don't know, Staples or something like that. Okay, so now, like I said, we're going to go to spot number 2. We're going to turn my card 180 degrees. Okay, so we're going to look like we're stamping upside down. And for this image, it works because this is, well, it's not exactly symmetrical. You know, this little line in the knot's different, but you know what? It doesn't really make any difference. So if I had one that I couldn't turn the card upside down, you know what I would probably do then is spot number 2 would be over this way, and I would, you know, stamp like that. But this was the way I came up with it, so I don't think anybody, we made this card in my class Saturday and nobody noticed that, and it's not that big a deal. So let me get that lined up right there. Okay. So it's the same 2 spots for the hinges. The first one and the third one. But since this is already here, I'm not going to bother to move it. Hold on, I'll move this down just a little bit here. There we go. I think that works. Wait a minute. Why am I not lining up exactly right? Scoop my piece of paper down a little bit. Let's see if how that comes out. Okay. It's not exactly even. I don't know what's going on here. Well, you know what? I guess it's a good thing I'm only making 1 card. I don't know. Okay. I think I have an idea what happened. I think. Okay, there we go. And let's see, this one's going to be right about there. Perfect. Okay. There we go. And so there we are. Okay. I think that move that out of the way. Okay, so let's assemble everything now. You know, we always need good masculine cards. So let me change my view back. There we go. I did good. I noticed it before it went too long. Yay. Okay, I'm going to start out by putting the piece of Pacific Point on my Knight of Navy base right here. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that on top too, because there's no more stamping on the outside. I don't know, I think I told you this piece of white is 5 by 3 3/4. Okay, and then this is gonna go right on there. And again, like I said, when you're trying to set up your Stamparatus, expect that you're going to have to take a few tries to get it where you want it, okay? So now I have my bow ties already die cut out, and I already put little mini dimensionals on the back of them, so you guys didn't have to watch me do that. So let me take the backing off. And we'll put the bow ties on here. There we go. Let's see, this one goes right here. And so when you die cut the paper, you got to watch the direction on most of these patterns. The flowers not so much, but like these stripes I did. There we go. This red one I didn't have to, but the others I kind of did. So I hope you like this card. I think it's stinking cute, even if whoever you're giving it to doesn't wear bow ties. I think that's okay. I think they're adorable. Now this stamp set and the dies are carrying over to the next catalog, or to the new catalog, in your catalog. The designer series paper is not. So if this is a designer series paper you want, it's got some great designs on it. Make sure you order it, okay? There, and there we go. Okay. So that's all there is to that, making this cute bow tie card using the Stamparatus. I hope you liked it, and if you do, give me a comment, share it. I appreciate it so much, and I will see you all next week. Bye-bye now.